Have you ever stopped to wonder what truths about God's judgment are so shocking, so unsettling, that the church dares not whisper them aloud? Picture yourself standing at the edge of a world crisis where the apocalypse truth hums faintly, hinting at an extermination ordered by a divine hand. Yet, those who claim to hold biblical truth, the preachers, the scholars, stay silent, their lips sealed by church secrets. What if the very hidden church teachings you've never thought to question are the key to unlocking the mystery of God's wrath and the final judgment? As says in Revelation chapter 14 verse 7, "Fear God and give Him glory, because the hour of His judgment has come." Today, on the Unveiled Bible, we're plunging headfirst into the shocking truth of God's judgment, a truth buried deep in forbidden teachings and secret doctrines that point to a biblical extermination few are ready to face. Imagine a moment when eschatology isn't some distant, dusty prophecy, but a vivid mirror reflecting the crisis we're living through right now. You're about to uncover religious mysteries that could reshape how you view Christianity, faith, and even your own spiritual growth. But here is the warning: what you're about to hear may shake you to your core, challenge your beliefs, and leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about the Bible. Years ago, I found myself in a dimly lit room, surrounded by a small study group, our hands trembling. We turned the pages of verses about end times prophecy. The air was thick, not just with the scent of old books, but with a shared sense of unease, as if we were on the brink of uncovering something forbidden. We weren't just reading, we were searching, driven by a hunger for answers to questions no one dared ask in the open. Then, one question cut through the silence like a blade. Why does the church avoid the apocalyptic revelations tied to divine punishment? That single spark ignited a journey into Bible secrets and Christian conspiracy, revealing a God's plan revealed that few were prepared to confront. It wasn't about sowing fear. It was about grasping the reality of Judgment Day, a reality that feels closer than ever in our time of world crisis. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you'll see how Judgment Day weaves into the fabric of the crisis global we're living through: wars, disasters, division, and why the church cover-up matters more than you might think. We'll peel back the layers of secret doctrines and forbidden teachings, not to scare you, but to empower you with biblical truth. Have you ever felt there's more to the Bible than what's preached from the pulpit? This journey through eschatology and religious mysteries will show you the apocalypse truth that ties God's wrath to our world today. Let's step into the unknown together and uncover the Christian secrets that could change how you see faith forever. The air felt heavy that night in the study group, as if the Bible itself was urging us to dig deeper into the religious mysteries surrounding God's judgment. We weren't just reading verses, we were wrestling with the shocking truth that extermination ordered wasn't a metaphor, but a stark warning woven into end times prophecy. As says in Matthew chapter 24 verse 21, "For then there will be great distress, unequaled from the beginning of the world until now." The world crisis we face today, wars, disasters, division, echoes those ancient words, doesn't it? But here is where it gets unsettling. Why do church secrets bury the biblical truth about divine punishment? I remember flipping through texts, my heart racing, as we uncovered hidden church teachings that hinted at a Christian conspiracy. The apocalypse truth wasn't just about God's wrath descending. It was about secret doctrines deliberately sidelined to keep the faithful calm. Imagine Moses facing the Red Sea, knowing the crisis wasn't just survival, but a test of faith. That's what we're facing now, a crisis global that demands we question the church cover-up. Have you ever felt like the Bible holds answers no one's explaining? We found clues in eschatology, pointing to a biblical extermination of us as destruction, but as a call to awaken. The forbidden teachings weren't about fear. They were about God's plan revealed, a plan where Jesus calls us to see the final judgment as a mirror to our choices. But here is the twist: the Christian secrets we uncovered weren't locked in some ancient vault. They're in plain sight, in verses like those in Revelation, yet ignored. Every page we turned raised a new question. What happens next in this apocalyptic revelation story? As we sat there, the flickering light casting shadows on the walls, it felt like we were unraveling a puzzle meant to stay unsolved. The Bible wasn't just a book, it was a map, guiding us through the religious mysteries that tie our world crisis to something much larger. Have you ever sensed that the chaos around us, wars, natural disasters, societal rifts might be more than coincidence? We began to see the end times prophecy, not as a distant warning, but as a lens for understanding today. The church secrets we stumbled upon weren't about control. They were about fear that the biblical truth of divine punishment would shake the foundations of faith. Picture yourself in Moses' place, standing before an impossible sea, with nowhere to turn but to trust. That's where we are now, in a crisis global that tests our courage to face the church cover-up. The hidden church teachings we found spoke of a biblical extermination, not as an end, but as a beginning, a wake-up call to see God's wrath as a call to action. Have you ever wondered why some verses, like those in Revelation, feel so urgent yet so overlooked? The Christian conspiracy isn't about shadowy figures. It's about choices to prioritize comfort over truth. As we dug deeper, eschatology became less about predicting doom and more about understanding God's plan revealed. Jesus' words in the Bible challenge us to look at the final judgment not as punishment, but as a reflection of how we live today. What will you do with that reflection? Each verse we read felt like a step closer to the apocalypse truth, but also a step towards something hopeful, a chance to grow, to question, to awaken. The weight of those Bible pages felt like a pulse, each verse pulling us closer to the shocking truth about God's judgment. This was no longer just a study group. It was a confrontation with apocalyptic revelations that made the world crisis seem like a shadow of end times prophecy. As to Peter 3 verse 7 says, "The present heavens and earth are reserved for fire, kept for the day of judgment." Then it hit me. The ordered extermination was no random destruction, it was divine punishment with purpose, a biblical extermination designed to awaken us to God's revealed plan. But why the church cover-up? The hidden teachings of the church we had uncovered pointed to a Christian conspiracy, not malice, but fear of religious mysteries that raised doubts in faith. Imagine David facing Goliath, not with a slingshot, but with the courage to question secret doctrines. That's what we did. And the truth of the apocalypse was overwhelming. Judgment Day is not a distant threat. It's a call to live with spiritual growth now. Have you ever wondered if the global crisis is a sign of God's wrath or an opportunity to reflect? The forbidden teachings showed us that eschatology is not about predicting the end of the world, but about understanding Jesus' call to face the secrets of the Bible head-on. The climax came when we realized that Christian secrets are not meant to remain buried. They are a bridge to biblical truth, urging us to ask, are we ready for the final judgment? That moment in the study group felt like standing on a precipice, the global crisis outside our window mirroring the turmoil of those ancient verses. Every word we read seemed to vibrate with urgency, as if the Bible was speaking directly to our time. Have you ever felt the weight of a truth so heavy that it demands action? The end times prophecy we explored was not about fear. It was about awakening. The church's cover-up, we learned, grew out of a desire to shield believers from the raw power of divine punishment. But protecting us also hid the true purpose of biblical extermination, a call to confront our choices. Imagine Jesus walking among us today, his words cutting through the noise of our global crisis. What would he say about the church's hidden teachings? The Christian conspiracy we uncovered was not about betrayal. It was about human fear of facing religious mysteries. Yet these mysteries are what fuel spiritual growth. The truth of the apocalypse hit us like a tidal wave. Judgment Day is less about fire and more about reflection. Are you living in a way that aligns with biblical truth? The forbidden teachings, once uncovered, became a roadmap not to the end of the world, but to a deeper faith. This journey through the Bible Uncovered has unraveled the Church's secrets to reveal a Christianity that demands courage, not complacency. If these apocalyptic revelations have awakened something in you, don't let it fade away. Join us at Bible Uncovered as we continue exploring biblical stories that fuel biblical culture. Subscribe now, like this video if it shook you, share your thoughts on end times prophecy in the comments, and hit the bell so you never miss a beat. Your Bible study starts here. Don't wait for a crisis to force your awakening. The Bible is calling. Will you answer?